Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It's time for our weekly recap of 911. This is season 3, episode 6, and it was titled Jinx. Alright, y'all, before I jump into this episode, if you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button along with the share button. Alright, y'all, let me tell y'all how I forgot that this came on, because I watched the last episode late. For some reason, I thought that I watched it on Monday. So when I went to my DVR, I was like, 911? Didn't I already watch this? I had completely forgot that it came on Monday. So that is why y'all are getting this on Thursday. I apologize. But I did watch the episode and it was hilarious. Okay, me and my son were in here cracking up the whole entire episode. It was funny. Okay, so, excuse me. It's a 911 call. Like when it opens up, it's a 911 call, and it's a high-speed chase. So we see Athena. She in the car. She in her cop car. She chasing down the suspect and all this other stuff, child. And then we see it's the fire truck, the 118 fire truck. I said, who done stole the fire truck? So it's helicopters in the air. They telling them to excuse me, y'all. I just finished eating, and I get all this phlegm in my throat after I finish eating. TMI, I'm sorry, but if I keep clearing my throat, that's why. They like pull over. So I was like, who done stole the doggone fire truck? So then it's like earlier in the day. So Buck, he got a clipboard and stuff. He checking equipment, and you know he Buck 3.0 because he newly reinvented himself and all this other stuff. And they was like, what happened to Buck 2.0? They was like, he got crushed by a fire truck. And he lost his girlfriend, or his girlfriend broke his heart, or something like that. They was like, So he was like, well, I'm gonna let the past go. So they was like, therapy must be working. He was like, yeah, you know, and my parents, they decided to come into a therapy session with me, so that's gonna be fine. And so they was like, oh, so it's gonna be family therapy. Chim, you gonna go? He was like, oh, no. That's their family. I'm not going to those meetings or whatever. So then, it's a new guy. He at the fire station or whatever. So Buck had called his name. He got all scared, dropped his books and stuff. And they was just like, all right, calm down, whatever. Well, how was your first night? He was like, oh, it was good. You know, it was real quiet. They was like, oh my God, no, you didn't. He was like, well, I just said quiet. Shh, don't you? Shh. I said, no, he didn't. Everybody knows you do not say the Q word, okay? In no hospital, in no clinic, no fire station, no nothing. You do not say the Q word. Because hands down, on a full moon, and if somebody say the Q word, it get busy like that. And y'all who work in the hospital, I used to work in the hospital a long time ago, y'all. And oh my God, somebody had said it was, child, and I worked in labor and delivery where I worked in the hospital. We had got so many dang on admissions, and I think we had like one that was like 20 weeks. We had like so many admissions come in that night. I was like, OMG. And on a full moon, it get extra crazy in the hospitals and stuff. Oh my God. So they was like, no, you didn't say the Q word. And so Eddie was like, what's going on with the Q word? What's going on with the Q word? So then they, so somebody said, what if he say it 2 times, it'll unjinx the shift? And then here go Chim. Yeah, and he said it 3 times, Candyman gonna come or whatever. So, they tell the new guy that the Q word is forbidden, and Bobby was like, who used the Q word? And then Eddie confused and stuff, and they like, well, we trying to reverse the jinx and stuff, because it's going to be non-stop calls. And they was like, remember the last time, because they in the fire truck at this time. They was like, remember the last time somebody used the Q word, what happened? And it was, it was Buck. He was like, what he was doing, he was putting a dish in a dishwasher or whatever, and Bobby was like, oh, you gotta wait till the dishwasher stop. He was like, oh, I didn't even hear the dishwasher was on, it's real quiet. They was like, he was like, no, I meant the dishwasher was quiet. Not that it's quiet here. As soon as he said it, they had got all these calls. They had like 37 calls or 36 calls. He was like, actually it was 37, because then they showed another flashback where he was like submerged in bubbles and stuff like that. They was like, well, they didn't count or something like that. Eddie was like, well, I don't believe in jinxes. I don't think we gonna get all these crazy calls and stuff. So he ain't believe it, child. So one of the 911 calls was a fender bender. So he was like, that's pretty normal. This is only a fender bender or whatever. Child, they look up on the billboard. Some man and duct taped his dang self up on the billboard talking about, what was his name? What was his name? Something Chains. Izzy Chains. I said Izzy Chains. He done duct taped the stuff on the billboard trying to sell his album and stuff like that. And they like, what in the world? And so the people in the car who then slammed into each other, the girl like, yeah, grandpa was driving in the Derby and stuff like that, and he was just like, well, if you learn how to drive, and then his blood pressure 170/80, and so Chimney's like, is your blood pressure always high? Do you have high? He was like, man, I'm 82, I got a lot of stuff going on. So then him was telling the lady she had a concussion. Buck up on the ladder trying to get the duct tape man down. He like, no, I'm not coming down. I rented this billboard. They can see my QR code. I said, who wants to get the QR code from all the way up there, sir? So he like, I got this billboard. I'm staying up here. Y'all cannot get me down and stuff. He all excited. Buy my album. Buy my album. People taking videos and stuff. He like, he gonna be famous. And so Buck was like, are you wearing any clothes underneath this duct tape? He was like, nah, man. He was like, you might regret that later on or whatever. So, Athena, she came and she was like, well, I checked out his story. He did rent that billboard all day or whatever. And so they start blowing up the little, Lord have mercy, not trampoline. What's the dang thing called? The little air mattress thing where somebody jump off, they could fall on there or whatever. So, Bobby tells Athena about the Jinx. She was like, you don't believe in them jinxes. He was like, I mean, I don't, but they believe in it. And when they believe in it, they start doing stuff. They start slipping up, falling, forgetting to do this, doing that, and whatever. So she picked up a penny talking about something, well, this is for luck. So we see Eddie. He runs into Christopher's teacher, the cute one where he yelled at and stuff. And then he had to go back and apologize or whatever. So she had burned her arm with some, she burned her hand with some hot coffee or whatever. And a firefighter gave her ice to put on the burn. I'm like, ice? You don't put no damn ice on no burn. So Eddie like, well, you don't put no ice on no burn. Who gave that to you? That's crazy. She was like, well, somebody had 147 on their helmet. He was like, well, they should have known better. Let me look at it. So he started looking at it. He started talking about Christopher. She's saying that she no longer Christopher's teacher because she got her doctorate and now she's a principal or vice principal at a school and stuff, better options, better pay and stuff like that. And so they're talking and flirting and stuff because you know Eddie is into her and stuff. So he goes to go away. He was like, well, if you see the guy from the 147, you know, write his name down and stuff. And he bandaged her hand up or whatever. And so she was like, oh, well, hopefully your day will be better. He was like, well, they tell me it's going to be a day from hell. We're going to get all these calls and stuff like that. And so she was like, well, I hope not. I hope to see you later or something like that, she said. So then the billboard man, he's still up there talking about he ain't coming down till 8 a.m. Child, why the tape start falling off? And so he fall. I think it was like, well, he should have paid for half a day or whatever. So he falls in the thing. Buck tried to run up there to reach him. He didn't get there in time, child. The man fell on a little mattress or whatever. And then he butt naked because he had no clothes on in that tape. So, him was like, well, he gonna be famous now. They tried to cover him up with a blanket, but everybody had already got pictures and video and stuff. So then they get back to the station. This thing was so funny. This thing was so funny, y'all. So they get back to the station. They hungry, right? Bobby done made mac and cheese. So the mac and cheese look good and stuff like that. He taking it out the oven. He putting it down. Everybody like, yes, let's get this mac and cheese popping. He go to sit the mac and cheese down. Chim get the spoon in there. So the bell go off. So then they gotta go. The bell ring. They go to somebody's house, get a cat out the tree. The man up in the tree because he was trying to get the cat out the tree. So they help the man down. They get back to the station. They sit down. They get another call. And they try to eat this mac and cheese. They get another call. It's an accident on Main Street. Another call. Somebody got a lion head stuck on their damn head. As soon as they take the lion head off, she threw up on Buck. Eddie was like, well, at least somebody ate today. They get back to the station. Bobby done put the mac and cheese on too high, so they done burnt the mac and cheese, so they can't even eat the mac and cheese at this point. They get another call after they done burnt the mac and cheese. It's a lady. She was going to the bathroom. A damn octopus fell from the dang on ceiling on her face. So I said, oh my God. And they was like, it must have came from the sushi restaurant next door or something like that. I said, oh my God. Somebody was drinking it out the pit. I forgot, I don't know what I wrote there, but it was another call. Then it was a man, he got stuck underneath a movie chair. What in the world? So they had like 3, 4, 5 calls. At one point, we see Chimney running to the fire truck with eating granola bars. I said, oh my God. Then this little boy got stuck in the washing machine. I said, oh my God. So then we see Bobby. He like, all right, come on. Park the truck. I said, I don't know why they parking the truck. They gonna get another call. And sure enough, by the time he was like, all right, you can stop. I said, oh my God. So the bell rung again. Then they finally sitting down somewhere. And then Eddie, because him was reading a medical book. Chimney was reading something on babies. And Buck was reading something on women, like the 5 love languages or something like that. And so they tell, oh no, I'm rushing ahead. This wasn't that part. This was the real funny part. They went to like some little party store or something like that. So Eddie was telling Buck that he ran into the English teacher and stuff like that. Child, why was the clown trapped underneath some helium tanks? Bobby was like telling them how to move the helium tanks, but it's helium, so that he was breathing it in, so that his voice was all like, so they was cracking up at him. He was like, that's not very professional or whatever. So then this clown, he had the oxygen on or something, child. So then he started coughing. So Buck was like, oh, you coughing, you choking, Oh no, it was Chimney. He's like, you choking. So he took the mask off the man. The clown was coughing. He gonna cough up some little funny paper. Chimney was like, really? This is serious right now. It was so funny. So then they get in the truck or whatever, and then they had like another call. It was 2 people were stuck in the elevator. So I think they had like 3 calls at this point. So then they get in the fire truck, and Eddie was like, well, see, that was a typical call. Like 2 people were stuck in the elevator. It wasn't nothing dangerous. That was pretty normal. So I don't believe in this Jinx. I don't believe in this Jinx. That was a normal call. That was like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And then him was like, why they wham, bam, thank you, sir? They was like, because it don't rhyme. Whatever. So then he like, I'm telling you, ain't no Jinx or whatever. Child, soon as he said that, the wind blew, and then the dang on electrical pole falls on top of the dang fire truck. And it's a live electrical pole. So they can't move because the truck is metal. They will be electrocuted, child. I said, oh my God. So they was like, what was you saying about no curse here? They was all staring at Eddie. He was just like, at the 911 station, I don't know that lady name, but the black lady, she was like, well, yeah, it was a distress call, because Josh was like, what was that distress call? And so she was like, oh, it was the 118. He was like, well, what happened? She was like, it was the electrical pole fell on top of the thing, but nobody was hurt. They just stuck inside their truck or whatever. And he was like, dang, they getting some weird calls today. I had to check if it was a full moon. And he was like, yeah, it's 1 in 4 days. I already took the day off. Because he know they about to get some real crazy calls. So then she was like, well, who are you texting and stuff? He was like, Chimney and Buck. They asking me for 2 bells and 2 bay leaves or something like that. Oh, they trying to break a curse. So inside the truck, Chimney like, well, if you put the bells around you 9 times, Buck like, each of us got to do it 9 times, or just everybody at one time doing 9 times? Like, we got to get this right to break this curse. So they try to figure out how to break the curse and stuff. And so Eddie's like, it's no such thing as a curse. It's no such thing as the Jinx and stuff like that. And a Jinx and a hex is 2 different things. And so they going back and forth about that. And so while he was like, this something like the Jinx is a sign from the gods that you angered them or something like that. And so Eddie was like, you really believe that? And so then the electrical pole fell a little bit more. So then Chim was like, how much more proof do you need? Like, we are in a death box right now. The universe is screaming at you or whatever. And so Eddie was like, well, the universe don't really scream. And I don't really worry about things I can't control or whatever. We just having a crappy day or whatever. Like, it's just because somebody said, I said, no, he not about to say it again. So Kat was like, don't you do it. So then they was like, well, Kat, you've been real quiet about this. What do you feel about the whole Jinx thing or whatever? And so he was like, I mean, people believe in superstitions and people wear like little medals around their neck to keep them safe. And so Eddie was like, what? He was like, well, I mean, that makes you feel better about going home to your son. Like, why can't they believe in their jinxes and superstitions and stuff like that? They was like, yeah, okay, but you didn't really answer the question. And so then the 133 show up. Child, why the 133 start taking pictures? Start taking pictures of them inside the day or truck or whatever and can't get out. I said, why this man taking a selfie? He was like, do I get the truck in there? I was cracking up. So then now they back at the station, Eddie up and stuff, and he said he couldn't sleep. Everybody up because you know they worked a 24-hour shift or whatever. So Chimney reading about baby books. This is where Ham was reading about medical, and this is where Buck was reading about the 5 love languages. And this is where they Buck had snitched out Eddie and was like, oh, he saw Hannah, the teacher or whatever. And so he was like, well, why? They asked him like why he didn't date or something. He was like, because she's Christopher's teacher. But they was like, but you just said she got a new job or whatever. So then the bell rang again. So Eddie was saying he has to answer no questions. They get to this man's house. It's a garage fire. He putting out the fire with the hose and stuff. Bobby giving instructions on what to do and stuff. So Bobby like, well, what's in this garage or whatever? He was like, you know, just a little Christmas things, a little tax files and stuff like that. You know, just a little something, something. But you know, hurry up and put it out. Child, why? Eddie, not Betty. Bobby go with the hose. It's a whole damn fireworks show. Fireworks start pop, pew, 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 all over the place. One went right between Bobby and the man who owned the house. And so Bobby was like, that don't look like no regular little tax files in this box and stuff. Like, what else is in here? Like, how many fireworks do you have in here? He was like, well, you know, I had went down south and brought a couple fireworks to come back to sell or whatever. So, I mean, I just got a little bit, like a little few or something like that. I brought about $10,000. $10,000, sir. So it is a whole bunch. So Bobby calls back up to get there and help out or whatever. I mean, like, it was literally like a whole fireworks show. Like, it was just like the 4th of July up in there, bitch. Okay? So I was like, oh my God. So then Eddie, Bobby told Eddie to, you know, get the fire out on the one side or something like that. Eddie tried to get the hose, but the hose is stuck. Some guy from the 147, again, remember, the 147 was out early. So some guy from the 147 unravels the hose that helps Eddie out or whatever. So Eddie tells him, like, you know, it was nonstop or something like that. And so then he thanks Harmon and he tells him, like, yo, Harmon, some guy earlier today put ice on the burn and stuff, like, let him know that that's not right or whatever like that. And he was like, all right, well, I'll let my captain know or whatever. So then Cat come, and so he tells Eddie, like, good job on there. He was like, oh yeah, I had help from the 147. He was like, you couldn't have had help from the 147 because their house got underneath a mudslide and they've been out of commission since then or whatever. So he was like, well, I'm sure it was 147. I saw it on his thing. So back at the fire station or whatever, they looking at pictures from the 147. He was like, well, his jacket said Harmon, but that was not Harmon because Harmon in the picture was a black man and this man was white. So they start talking about, well, maybe he found like a suit or something like that and he not trained and he can do more harm than good or something like that, and I feel sorry for him and stuff. So then they start talking about, somehow it came up about Hannah or something like that. And you know, Eddie had lost his wife. So he's still, you know, mourning his wife and still in love with his wife and stuff. And he don't feel like he can move on. And so Bobby was like, sometimes you gotta move on. You can't be, cause, oh, that's how he was talking about. Cause he was saying like people fail the academy and stuff like that. And they just keep focusing on what they don't have versus what they could get. They keep missing the opportunity or missing a chance at something else. So that's how he was trying to tie it into Eddie going after, you know, the teacher and stuff like that. And so he says like, maybe you should go on a date and, you know, still be happy and stuff. And he was like, well, that's how you and Athena Or he was like, yes, I'm really happy with the family I have now, but I never stopped missing the ones that I lost or whatever like that. So, you know, Eddie thinking and stuff. So then we at this burger place, child. This guy, he got this name tag on right. It say Jim. So this little boy and his mama, they in the line. The little boy like, I'm hungry. The mama like, well, Jim gonna give us our food. He was like, it's really Larry. So he give him his food. They go outside, right? The phone ringing. So the dude is like, am I the only person that work here? So he go answer the phone. The mom and the son is outside. And the little boy was like, Jim forgot to give me my fries or whatever. So she looked like she was about to go back in. Child, next thing we see the dude Jim / Larry. He throws a chair through the window. He throws a chair through the window. It's like, run for your lives. So the lady calls and she was like, they going crazy down here. She called 911 and was like, they going crazy down here. So they get down there or whatever. And so Bobby's like, well, what happened? Like, what's going on? So the guy, Larry's, Jim / Larry, he was like, well, I got a call from a fire chief or whatever. And he said it was a gas leak. And he said the whole place could go up in flames or whatever. So they was like, well, why did you break the window? He was like, well, they told me I need to break through all the windows immediately or whatever. So Athena was like, well, did he give you a name? No, but he sounded really official. I was cracking up. So then Athena was like, all right, Jim, thanks for your help. He was like, it is Larry. So then Bobby and Athena was talking. He was like, well, I think somebody had called in pretending to be the fire chief or whatever. And she was like, well, why would somebody do that? He was like, well, the same person is here or whatever. So Bobby had spotted the guy who pretended to be from the 147. So Buck started chasing him. Dude jumped in the fire truck, child. And Athena was like, not on my watch. So she hopped in her police car. And so they started driving and stuff like that. And he in the dang old 118 fire truck. And he gone. Child, why Hen and Chim come out of there? Hen got a damn burger in her hand. Chim got fries in his mouth with all these bags of stuff. He was like, we got another call. Because mind you, they eat all day. I was cracking up, okay? So, it's a 911 call or whatever. Josh, he coming to work because somebody got injured from the police chase or whatever. And so, he was like, yeah, it's a crazy police chase or whatever. And, I think the lady, the black lady, she was like, yeah, but they didn't took the 118 truck. I think they would have wished they was inside the truck at this point or whatever. Because he was like, well, they not stuck in the truck again. Something like that. I was like, oh my God. So they're back at the scene. Buck is like, Bobby was like, well, Buck, how much gas is in the truck? He was like, I just topped it off. So that truck can run for at least like 4 hours or whatever. I was like, oh my God. This lady, she jogging down the street, child. The dang on fire truck almost hit her. I said, oh my God. We see Athena, she on the chase or whatever. We see like maybe 5 more police cars. They on the chase too. The fire truck, he driving reckless and stuff like that. They keep telling him to pull over. The helicopter's telling him to pull over. They say he not slowing down. They ended up, the helicopter told him to turn right or something like that. He turns right. As they was trying to box him in, he going down the street, he just hitting cars on the side of the street. I said, oh my God. So then they ended up boxing him in, and then they jumped out. They got all the guns pointed at him and stuff like that. And he looking all like, oh my God, what I'm gonna do? He started backing up. So of course they move out the way because they don't want to get hit by the truck or whatever. She looking at this man like, for real, you really driving in this dang on truck or something like that. And so then they get a call and it's a 5-alarm fire. I said, oh my God, they ain't got no truck. So then they get a call, it's a 5-alarm fire, and they was like, all available fire trucks or whatever come out because it's a big fire. So here go Bobby, because they looking like, what the hell we supposed to do? We got no truck. Here go Bobby. Everybody jump into the ambulance. I said, not the ambulance. So they like, it ain't even enough like, Buck, just lay on the gurney. Just lay on the gurney. I was cracking up, y'all. And so, they was like, well, couldn't he had taken the ambulance and said, him was like, you better watch your mouth. You better watch your mouth or whatever. And so, Eddie gets on the speaker because somehow they was like, well, how we going to get there? We ain't got no helmets. We ain't got no nothing. Like, how we going to help out? And Eddie was like, well, maybe we could get the fire truck to the fire or whatever. So then he gets on the call and he like, Ryan, click the radio if you can hear me or something like that. And he starts thanking them and boosting them up, telling them like, you did a good job. You helped out and stuff. And you help other people, but I don't want you to get stuck. And the dude start crying, I'm not brave enough. And Eddie's like, yes, this is your chance. It's a 5-alarm fire. We need your help, man. We need your help or whatever. He was like, I'm not a hero. No, I'm not a hero. But he's going to go to the fire. So he goes up to the fire. He ends up pulling up before the ambulance got there or whatever like that. Athena hot on his trail and stuff. He jumped out the dang on fire truck. Child, he started running. He ended up tripping over a hose. I said, Lord. And so they end up locking him up or whatever. They all hop. The way they hopped out that ambulance. They all hop out the ambulance. Bobby like, your penny never stood a chance. He's talking to Athena. Athena reading Ryan his rights and stuff like that. Here he go. Well, can I stay and watch? She said, if you don't get your behind in this dang on cop car, you ain't getting no ticket to this show or whatever. I was cracking up, y'all. Like, this whole episode was hilarious. So it's the end of their shift or whatever. And they was saying something like, was the Jinx over? And so here go Shim like, I might just call out just in case it's not. So Cap like, look, it ain't the end of y'all shift yet. Let me go ahead and buy y'all some breakfast or whatever. And so here go Buck. Do you ever get so tired that you just stop being hungry? They like, he was like, no, not me either. Let's go on the thing. So Eddie like, well, I got other plans and stuff like that, and whatever. And so then they had breakfast and they talking about how the man got all the gear. So he found some gear in the mud. He washed it off and stuff. He got a scanner. So every time they got a call, he would listen to the call and meet them over there to the call. He just wanted to help people. And they was like, well, why would he say it was a gas leak if it wasn't a gas leak? And they was like, he thought it was a gas leak because the burger place, how they was cooking the food and stuff, and he kept putting oil on the flame, and it was popping up over the burgers and stuff. So he thought it was a gas leak. So that's why he called and told them it was a gas leak or whatever. And they was like, well, he wasn't even a good firefighter. He wasn't even a good firefighter or whatever. Child, they try to eat their breakfast. They didn't get the fork in the mouth. Like, the lady brought the food. They like, and then somebody over there coughing and choking up. I said, Lord, is they ever going to eat? So, of course, they went over there to help the person choking and stuff. And then we see Eddie. He's on the date with the principal and stuff like that. And she was surprised but glad that he called. And she was like, well, how'd your day from hell go? And he was like, it really turned out good or whatever. And so the lady came over, was like, would y'all like some coffee? So they both was like, oh, no coffee, Jinx or whatever. I said, oh, now you believe in Jinxes. Like, get out of here, Eddie. But it was real cute. The episode was cute. It was funny. If y'all enjoyed the episode, y'all let me know what y'all felt about it down there in them comments. If y'all ended up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And again, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell on your way out. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.